Welcome to World's Strongest Man 2008. 10 men have made it through to the finals here in Charleston, West Virginia, and it promises to be one of the toughest competitions yet. It could also be one of the most historic. There have been many great champions over the years in this contest, but one man has the opportunity to elevate himself to strongman immortality. Mariusz Pudzianowski has completed the first obstacle in the way of an historic 5th title. The current holder is one of the 10 finalists. But these 9 men will be straining every sinew to stop the Dominator establishing himself as the greatest strongman ever. 10 finalists, 7 grueling events, but there can be only one World's Strongest Man. Well, those are the 10 competitors that have made it through to the final. Now, I'm joined by 3 times World's Strongest Man, Bill Kazmaier. Bill, out of those guys that we've seen, who would be your tip to get through to the top 3 finishes come the end of competition?
Well, the first couple are pretty easy. Pudzianowski going for his 5th title. That's a no-brainer. Phil Pfister, this is his hometown. He wants to repeat after winning in 06, so that's pretty easy. But after that, this is a really stacked group. Ortmeyer's tough, Poundstone's tough, Ostlund, the list goes on and on. Wenta, Tarmo Mitt's been here before. It's going to be just brutal for that 3rd. This is going to be a great race.
Well, this first competition is really going to set the stall out because it looks tough. It's the power stairs. The weight's the same as they've had before, 225 kilos. But it's the height of these stairs that, to me, makes it look as though it's going to be a really tough one.
Oh, break that down though, Martin. The weight is the same as last year. 225 kilos, over 15 stairs. It's just going to be brutal. That's almost a half a meter stair, 15 times. A lot of the guys, I don't think are going to finish it.
Well, that's our first event, the power stairs. It's coming up next. The athletes are warming up. We'll see how they get on.
Well, it's a cruel event to open up with, isn't it? This final of the World's Strongest Man, those power stairs. It sounds like something you just do in your gym, but it's nothing like you've ever seen in any gym before. Jason Bergman, relatively speaking, one of the little guys here in the Strongman final.
In lane 2, also from the USA, Derek Poundstone.
The beat cop from Connecticut.
In lane 3, from the nation of Estonia, Tarmo Mitt. In the black in lane 4 from USA, Dave Ostlund.
And Dave Ostlund, the giant at 6'7".
In lane 5 from Norway, Harald Haugen.
And Harald Haugen, who was so impressive. He, like Tarmo Mitt of Estonia, flying the European flag.
Take your grip. Ready?
2 years ago, when this event was in the final in Sanya, China, we saw a lot of skin ripped off hands. It really was a cruel way to start the event. But look at this, look at Big Dave doing the little hop approach, and he's taken an early lead, but Tarmo Mitt's trying to go with him, the ever consistent Estonian.
2 tall men in the lead at the moment, and as Kazmaier said, it's a very high step, well over 12 inches, in fact nearly 40 centimeters. But actually, I think the hardest bit is this little hop in the middle that really tires you. It's not just 15 steps, it's another meter forward each and every step.
Jason Bergman having a really hard time on the far side there, but Dave Ostlund still going.
Poundstone.
Look at Derek Poundstone making his move as well. How's he timed his run? Because he's attacked Tarmo Mitt and moved past him, and he's got Ostlund on the last step as well. Well, he came from nowhere there, Poundstone. It looked like a race between Ostlund and Mitt. And Dave Ostlund has really hit the wall right at the finish line there. That's tough for Big Dave, but he's going to finish. That's important. What about Tarmo Mitt? Can he make it? Couldn't quite get the lift he needed, and Bill Kazmaier was right. Most of these guys are not going to finish. But what about Derek Poundstone? He came from nowhere.
What a grueling event. How about another hand for these 5?
You can see them all just checking their hands. Hey, is the skin intact?
Well, Poundstone just put on the accelerator at the end there. He was well behind at the halfway mark. So fit, Derek Poundstone.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Welcome from England, Terry Holland.
He's the only Brit to make the final, Big Tell. 5 started out, but Terry's the only survivor.
Virginia, USA, Phil Pfister.
Former world champion in his hometown.
In lane 3 from Poland, defending champion Mariusz Pudzianowski.
The current champion looking for title number 5.
In the green, from the United States of America, Travis Ortmeyer.
His first World's Strongest Man looks sensational in qualifying.
And in lane 5, from Poland, Sebastian Venta.
Slow starter in qualifying, but he came through very strongly. And last year's runner-up, a real dark horse here.
Take your grip.
So you look at this field and you'd say, of this group of 5, there's a case to be made for Terry Hollands being the outsider here. That's how tough this field is. And Terry has indeed made a slow start. A little stumble there. Pfister looking to try and go for it. Look
He's
out.
carrying it. Look, he's not even doing the double movement. Pfister doing the fireman's lift.
And look at Pudzianowski. He's going for the quick move as well. And look at this technique from Pudzianowski. He's blown by the big American Phil Pfister. Can't keep up with that, but has he done too much too soon, Pudzianowski?
Well, he looked over at Pfister and realised his technique wasn't working. He had to try and do it in one movement. Both of these guys, though, are looking very tired now. One more step.
And he's done it. Pfister's in trouble, so too is Venta. Terry Hollands struggling badly as well. But Pfister started fast, but it looks like he's running out of gas as well. I don't think he's going to make this last step. So 7 out of 10 failed to finish the course. That's how tough these power stairs were. And they put everything into it. Just look at that. For Phil Pfister, nothing left in the tank.
How about a hand for our final
And Nick, that calf injury that Marius suffered in the heats doesn't seem to be bothering him at all. The 2 days rest has really done him some good. Absolutely rocket-powered Marius.
It's Pudzianowski and Poundstone that take the top 2 places then in an incredibly grueling opener. Dave Osland takes 3rd. 3 men tied for 6th, but Hollands will need to make big improvements if he's to live up to last year's performance. Well, a significant marker thrown down by Pudzianowski to any potential challengers. He obliterated the field in the power stairs, and that calf injury doesn't seem to be hampering him. Not a great start, though, for England's Terry Hollands. However, the next event is one where he normally does well. It's the car walk, and it's coming up after the break. Welcome back. Now, the athletes will have recovered from the power stairs, a grueling event for them there. Another one's coming up for them. It's the car walk, and yet again I'm joined by 3 times world's strongest man, Bill Kazmaier. Bill, we saw Marius destroy the field in that opening event. England's Terry Hollands came last. Now, we would have hoped him to do better. The car walk should be a strong event for him. How do you see him at the moment?
Well, in the power stairs, you know, his power was down. He's lost maybe 20 kilos, a little less. Up against a 410 kilo car, he could use that mass. He's still a really big guy. He's got to get his head straight to do well in an event like this.
Well, that's the big question. Is the big man from Kent ready for this event? We'll find out.
Well, the car walk, you got 1 minute and 15 to literally carry that car 25 metres. It only weighs 900 pounds or so.
Here in the United States.
And it helps to be tall. Helps to be fast too. Big Dave knows that 2 men have set a very fast time. Travis Ortmeyer really flying out of the blocks, and Sebastian Venta of Poland not far behind him. So the standard set for Big Dave Osland. You always need a sprint start here, and once you've got that car lifted and moving, it's about control. You don't want it wobbling around and swaying and drifting, because then you'll lose it completely. Austin looks like he's got tremendous control. Look at the focus, look at the attention, and he's got every chance of beating that time as well. That is nippy. 14.23, that is super fast.
Oh, he got the balance point perfect there. He was right at the front. Most of the weight is in the front bit, near where the engine is. Austin, 14.23, that's incredible. Actually, if you look at his start, 1 foot was in front of the other. It was almost like a sprint start. He didn't go for a 2-footed pickup.
Please welcome from the United States of America, Derek Poundstone.
Well, it really is amazing what these guys have to deal with here. 3 incredibly fast times. Derek Poundstone, like all the other competitors, knows you can't afford a single slip. Tremendous intensity as well, but Poundstone's wobbling a little bit. Now, can he keep it together? He's drifting, he's listing, but he's keeping it moving, and he's got it back on track, and it's not gonna quite beat Dave Osland, but that's good enough for 2nd place, and he'll take it.
I don't think his start was anywhere near as good as Austin's, but his fifth gear was a little bit faster, wasn't it? Right at the end, he really accelerated. Good control from Poundstone.
Four-time Metrish World's Strongest Man and defending champion from Poland, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
We've seen Mariusz do this before and almost break into a run. He might need to break into a run today to take maximum points.
He went backwards there, and that's a terrible start for him. Already it's cost him a few seconds at least.
Yeah, he's not going to get a winning time, but how quick can he do it? That's the question. Well, if only he got a fast start. Look at that, 16.7. That's fast. On a normal event, you'd think, well, yeah, that's not bad. I'll take that. But third place, is that good enough for Pudzianowski? And straight away, he's checking his time to see where he stands.
Yeah, look at the start. He stood up and he didn't get the balance point right and went backwards. That's got to be 3 or 4 seconds, and he almost pushed it too hard in the end.
Now, Phil Pfister, very much the local favourite here. They would love, quite literally, a hometown hero to cheer. But the pressure builds every time one of these guys rips off one of these fast ones. Phil knows it's got to be 15 seconds. He's looking in trouble. Had a little buckle there, but he kept it back together and he's keeping that stride going. I thought he was in trouble, but he's recovered brilliantly. And has he got a shot at this? Yes, he has. And that was with a little wobble early on as well.
Well, Pfister in 06 relied on this event to pull him into contention in the finals when he won it. And again, he's used this event to really springboard his chances. Pudzianowski watching on there. That'll push him further and further down the rankings.
Representing England, Terry Holland.
What must be going through Terry's mind? And a tough one to open up with the power stairs. He's not bad at this event, but the times in front of him are just so fast.
Oh, that was a weak pickup, wasn't it?
Oh, you're not kidding. Well, I don't think Terry's going to be challenging the leaders here.
Well, you remember last year in Anaheim, he was super fast. He's struggling to have the leg power to stand up with it. This isn't good for Terry.
Well, once he's got it going, he's okay, but the damage was long done. Terry lost it at the start.
Well, Kazmaier pointed out he is 20 kilos lighter this year. Terry, a pretty slim 26 stone for him, and well, he's obviously a man who relies on big body weight for his power.
Yeah, he lost at least 10 seconds just at the start here. This was where the problem started. Look at that wide stance of his.
Yeah, he's trying to get himself as wide as possible. He is a very tall man, Terry. It's not easy to pick weights up that low.
Terry, a good bit of time there at the start getting adjusted. Tell us how important that is to get a good race.
Well, I mean, I felt pretty comfortable along the run. Just got an absolutely terrible start. Felt really, really badly balanced, and yeah, just the pickup was way too hard and just wasn't good at all. Really terrible run.
How does this set you up for the rest of the competition?
I mean, obviously it doesn't put me in a good position. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, but I mean, I'll keep fighting till the end.
Phil Pfister thrills the home crowd with an amazing time of just over 13 seconds. Ostlund, Poundstone and Ortmeyer impress as well. Terry Hollands will be very disappointed with 8th in this event, as the lightest competitor, Jason Bergman, will be delighted. Derek Poundstone and Dave Ostlund lead, but Phil Pfister's win moves him up to 3rd. Pudzianowski is stalking all 3. Hollands is rock bottom at the moment, 13 points adrift of the leaders. Can Pudzianowski's leg hold out as we head to the Fingals Fingers? Over to Nick and Colin to find out.
Now those 5 fingers have got to be flipped through their axis as fast as possible. There's a catch though, they get heavier the further down the course you get. There's always a catch. The light one's 440, the big one's 705 pounds. Well, Sebastian Venter.
Sebastian Venter. And in the green from the USA,
always a slow starter. And Travis Ortmeyer. These two fellows have seen the big 4 get away from them a little bit. Well, we've already seen 4 guys go here. Bergman, Hollands and Haugen all managed 5 fingers. Tarmo Mitt, though, struggled with 4. He's having a tough competition. Now, what about these two? Can one of these two make a move on the leading 4? Venter's always a slow starter and a fast finisher. And as the rain comes down here in Charleston, I don't think that's going to help the grip for these two fellas.
No, nor the grip underfoot either. Remember last year, Venter was the second fastest of anybody in the final, just behind Pudzianowski, and you're right, he's a great finisher. As it gets heavier, it doesn't make a difference.
Well, let's see how quickly he can do this fifth finger. But the Polish number 2 looks like he's going to be on for the lead here, and he loves it. And not far behind him, Ortmeyer's going to get a very, very good finish here. So those two guys have put themselves back in the hunt. You love the camaraderie of these guys. They're competitive, they want to beat each other, but they all admire each other as well, and they love that.
37 seconds for Venter. Last year he did just over 30 seconds, so that's the difference. That 20 kilos on the last finger has cost Venter. Still a great time.
Your attention please, in the gold, from Poland, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Yes, when you're the reigning champion, you don't do yellow, you do gold. The good and the great in attendance here in Charleston, including Danny Jones. Well, you're allowed to wear braces like that when you're the mayor of the place, aren't you?
Ready?
Now, these two fellas know what they've got to beat, 37 seconds, and they're both sprinting down the course. Pudzianowski absolutely ripping through, and Big Phil Pfister just behind him as well. This is fast, very fast.
This was Marius's bogey event. Last year he broke the world record, but now the last finger is heavier, and we saw in the heats, this is what tore his calf muscle, so he's nervous and he's hobbling a bit.
Well, I'm sure he's put it to the back of his mind, and the clock becoming a factor now. They've still both got plenty of time, and Pfister's got his nose in front. Can he beat Venter? I think he's going to. Pudzianowski's struggling. Phil Pfister in first place. And Pudzianowski has lost valuable time here. Not a bad time, but he's looking around at the people around him, and he knows that time may not be good enough for big points here. He's in third with 2 to come. That's going to take some catching, though.
What an effort from both of them.
Well, Big Phil's height advantage and body weight advantage really helping him on this new heavy fifth finger.
In the red, in lane 1, American Derek Poundstone. And also from the USA, Dave Ostland.
Connecticut versus Minnesota. And Derek Poundstone, a policeman in Connecticut.
Ready?
Given time off for these events, he has to arrange cover. And what a first world's strongest man finally he's having, but it's that big fella, the 6'7" Dave Ostland, that's off to the flyer here. And he knows Pfister's time, he knows Venter's time. They're both fast, and he's going to need to get in amongst them. And Poundstone's catching up as well. This is impressive from Derek Poundstone. He's making his move.
Really impressive. Now Ostland's height might be telling here. Probably give him a big advantage, but Poundstone's still attacking it. What a pit bull he is.
Look at that technique. Absolutely wonderful stuff from Ostland. He goes into first place, and I don't think Poundstone got second. I think he's just been pushed down to third. But both of those fellas will push Pudzianowski down to fifth.
Poundstone and Dave Ostland, USA.
So the big four continue to dominate the field here.
Ostland wins, Pfister continues his good form, Pudzianowski unbelievably outside the top 3 again. 8th just isn't good enough for Hollands, but the big surprise is Tarmo Mitt. Another plucky performance from Bergman, he's 7th. The reigning champion is now 5 points off the pace. Pfister moves into 2nd place, but it's Big Dave Ostland in top spot. Hollands has some company in the last place in the shape of Harold Haugen. Travis Ortmeyer is pushing for a top 5 place.
Dave, once in a while a guy comes along that's got the rare qualities of height, strength, speed, endurance, and a lot of talent. Are you that guy?
Well, on these first 3 maybe I am, but I got a couple weaker events coming up tomorrow, although I'm better at them this year than I was last. So we'll see what happens, see if I can hang with them.
Through all those emotions and all those thoughts, are you starting to believe?
Yeah, I mean, I came here, I always look at my abilities and what I can do very objectively, and this is the first year I've come here and thought there's a very real chance this could happen. So more events go by, the more I believe it.
Osland's starting to dream, but the next event is the stuff of nightmares. The heaviest ever World's Strongest Man deadlift is coming up.
Well, next up, the dreaded deadlift. Plenty have tried so far. Jason Bergman leads the way with 6 reps. Terry Hollands continues to struggle.
Now on the platform, in the green, from the USA, Travis Ortmeyer.
The Texan. Now keep in touch with the leading group.
Ready,
He knows that the bar has been set at 6, but he knows that the big guns have yet to fire in the deadlift.
good lift, lift.
This is a very, very heavy weight for these guys to be shifting for repetitions. 1 rep at this would be good. As we said in the heats, Ortmeyer a couple of years ago hurt his back. It's been a long road for recovery to try and bring his deadlift up to somewhere around where it was before. In fact, now it's well beyond. He really is a world-class deadlifter. This will be a great benchmark for the others.
Can he get that 7th? They've given it to him, and I think that might be enough.
30 seconds to go.
Well, he's still got some time, but he puts so much into that 7th lift. It really would be extraordinary if there's another one in there. And no, there isn't. That's not bad at all. This guy is learning more and more with every event.
You can see he's put absolutely everything into that last rep, and he needs to. He needs the points.
4-time Metrics World's Strongest Man and defending champion from Poland, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
A long time since Pudzianowski lost a deadlift,
Ready.
but there is a question against that calf muscle tear. How much will that affect him? Well, so far it doesn't seem to be bothering him at all, does it? And he can't afford to let it play on his mind.
So funny you say the last time he got beat. Last time he did get beat, it was by Mark Felix, who didn't make the final. The Blackburn man got knocked out. So Marius must be fancying his chances here. If he can do double figures or close to double figures, that'll be a very hard target to beat.
Well, he's matched the 7th of Ortmeyer. Just look at the power in those legs.
Yeah, look at the technique as well. He's got baby oil on the thighs, and that's not just for fun. That's so that bar can slide up there without sticking to it. He's really using the equipment well. Let's see if he does his normal trick. He'll rest now, and then he'll lift it above his knees and rest it on the thighs. I mean, such a weight on your thighs you really shouldn't do, but he's doing it.
Yeah, brilliantly done. All technique. As he goes into double figures and says, that'll do, beat that. And this is an event he's got to win if he's going to have a chance of successfully defending his title. And he knows all the tricks, doesn't he, this crafty old campaigner.
8 down, 2 to go. After the break, the leaders go head-to-head. After that comes the biggest plane pull in WSM history. We head to Jaeger Air Base and strap on to a Hercules transporter. Welcome back to West Virginia for the culmination of the deadlift. Over to Nick and Colin.
Ladies and gentlemen, your current leader in the final from USA, Dave Osland.
Well, that's the big dog they're all trying to track down at the moment.
Ready.
And the big fella wasn't looking forward to this. Those long legs means that Jeep's got to travel so much more through the air. He's not built ideally for a deadlift, Dave Osland. But it's a solid start.
And he's worked very hard at it as well.
He's really trying to pace himself here, but you can see it's hurting. Look how much traveling he has to do compared with some of the shorter, more compact guys.
Yeah, it really is. There's no real way to cheat this weight up. It's such a simple test of strength. This up it goes again, and this is really good lifting from Osland. Tremendous for someone of his height to do 7 reps. Wonder if he'll start doing the jacket up the thighs technique like Pudzianowski. They're all starting to copy that. He can get it to his knees, he can kind of rest it there for a bit.
No, I don't think it's going to happen for him. 7 it is. That may be even better than he expected. And to get on to 7 means he should be good for some good points here.
Well, if you can do well in your bad events, you really can't ask any more than that because he's doing so well in his good events.
And in the red, from the United States, Derek Poundstone.
Well, he knows what he's got to beat.
Okay, Derek, you ready?
What an inaugural competition Derek Poundstone is having.
Complete belief in himself as well.
Makes you wonder if he ever dedicates himself to this full time, what he's capable of achieving. But at the moment, he says he loves his police work and he fits in strongman around it. If he dedicated himself to this sport, there's just no telling what he could go on and do. As it is, here he is, 3rd place in the World's Strongest Man final. And one more lift will put him into 2nd spot on the deadlift, with only Pudzianowski ahead of him.
Wow, 2 more to equal Pudzianowski. Oh, and he's doing the Pudzianowski. Oh, he just barely got his hips locked there. This is going to be a tough rep to pull out.
Yeah, a lot went into that 9th. Surely there's not another one, is there? He's trying the Pudzianowski trick.
Oh, that must be agony on his knees.
Is he going to do it, though? Yeah, they've given it to him. Now it gets interesting. Do you go for one more? Well, you've got to give it a shot. But no, he decides, I'll just take a share of 1st place. But that gives Pudzianowski a share as well.
Not bad for a guy who had a prolapse disc just 3 years ago, is it? And look at his technique. The fact I could have slipped backwards is almost a bit dangerous, isn't it?
Derek, what does it feel like having 340 kilos resting on your knees?
It's something I get used to, you know. I love to hitch it. Felt a little awkward. The car rolls a little bit, so it took me a couple reps to get my confidence up. That wasn't going to roll back, you know. I hate for that to happen. I have to start over.
Overhead lift is next. How do you rate your chances?
I think I'm one of the best overhead lifters in the world, so I put a high number up to beat, you know.
What a fight between Pudzianowski and Poundstone. 10 grueling reps each. Ostlund will be pleased as well. 3 share bottom spot. Hollands is again among them. Harold Haugen is just outside the top 5. Ostlund remains top, but he's being hunted by Poundstone and Pudzianowski. Pfister slips to 4th. Hollands is alone at the bottom as Haugen moves up. Venter slips into the bottom half. The Pole has the chance to make things up in the next event, though. It's the log press, an event at which he usually excels.
Ah, the log lift. What fun. A log that weighs 309 pounds. Just got to lift it over your head, lock your arms, and do it as many times as you can in 75 seconds. Well, Harold Haugen managed 5 reps. Poor old Terry Hollands. Well, just getting to the final after the year he's had as some achievement. Jason Bergman, the little fella from Wisconsin, managed 7. Tarmo Mitt matched that as well. Mitt needed more. And Dave Ostlund, though, the early pace setter, starting to fall away. Phil Pfister managed 6. Would have been a little bit disappointed with that. Travis Ortmeyer kept his good run going. Managed 7. Sebastian Venter, though, continues to move his way through the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the red, from Connecticut, USA, Derek Poundstone.
Derek Poundstone's been telling anyone who'll listen that he is the best in the world at this.
World's strongest man, from Poland, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Mariusz making his own little statement there.
Take your grip.
Well, who is the best?
Ready?
At the moment, it's Sebastian Venter with 8. Let's see if one of these two can push past that.
Better start for Pudzianowski there, but Poundstone getting into a rhythm now. And Derek tries not to even use his legs in the jerk. The difference in technique here, he just uses his arms. He thinks it's a quicker movement, which it is, but you can burn out and get tired.
Phenomenal arm strength to do what Poundstone's doing, isn't it? Look at that. Pushing straight through. But Pudzianowski's right in his slipstream. Poundstone not stopping yet. No breathers being taken there. They're both on 7. And this looks like it's going to be a straight head-to-head between them now. They've both matched Venter, and there's more to come.
So quick off the floor again, Poundstone. Barely touched it down. Pudzianowski looking a little shaky. This is going to be a tight finish.
It really is. Poundstone goes into double figures and then takes a big breather. Pudzianowski's slowed right down as well. And I think we're finding out who is indeed the best. And we're looking at him right there. Pudzianowski's so proud. He won't want to give this up. Normally Marius would have just said, I'll get past 8 and stop there, but he desperately wanted to put Poundstone in his place. But the cop has delivered his own ticket here.
Well, that's the first time ever I've seen Marius actually stop and not continue. I'm not sure if he even realised how quick Derek was. I think he thought he was rep for rep there, Marius. But he did just about all he could do anyway.
Yeah, what a competition, what a lift.
He said he was the best in the world, and he proved it. Poundstone with consecutive firsts. How will that affect Pudzianowski? Another impressive showing from Ortmeyer gives him a share of 4th, but Hollands looks like he's had enough. Poundstone is now 3 points clear of the pole and is looking good for victory. Ostlund looks like he'll have to settle for 3rd. Hollands is playing for pride. A year blighted by illness and injury has not ended well for him. We're at Yeager Air Base, the home of the 130th Airlift Wing of the West Virginia Air National Guard, for the signature event of World's Strongest Man. And this year we've gone big. Really big. I'm in a C-130 Hercules air transporter, and down below me the athletes are getting ready to tow this 45-ton beast 25 metres along the runway. Amongst them is former World's Strongest Man Bill Kazmaier. Bill, what have these guys got to watch out for?
Martin, these boys are in for the event of their life. This pull's going to be really, really heavy. The rope will help, but their arms are going to be just pumped beyond belief. Their grip won't work. Their legs are going to be on fire. And their lungs, they're going to be cooked. Poundstone did really well in the overhead lift, and he's 3 points ahead of Pudzianowski. But he's going to have to do exceptionally well. Pudzianowski is a great puller. And as for Terry Hollands from England, he's going to have to pull hard and get a good score just for pride.
Well, amazingly, all these guys did actually get it moving. Tomo Meat has set the bar through the first 6 competitors.
From England, Terry Hollands.
Terry Hollands. Well, he won the pull last year, didn't he? But it was a puny little fire engine back in Anaheim a year ago. Can he pull a plane? Plane take the strain. Sounds like a commercial, doesn't it? But Terry Hollands had such a tough year. He's had personal issues. He's had health problems. It really is amazing that he's just reached the final here at the World's Strongest Man. But that plane, if Terry doesn't watch it, it's going to take off behind him. That's moving.
And now he's starting to hit this uphill section. And this is where some of the competitors so far have just ground to a halt. He's got to use his arms and legs, keep pumping away here. He's got the body weight advantage. Now he's just got to use that fitness he's got. He might not have the absolute strength, but he's got good fitness this year. 38.69.
That's
tremendous,
good enough.
Nick.
Yeah, good enough for first place, but with still some of the real big boys to come. But good to see Terry getting good points at last, because he's not enjoying this final, I don't think. But that'll restore some pride.
And from Charleston, West Virginia, Phil Pfister.
No prizes for guessing who these people want to see do well.
Are you ready?
Phil at the moment very much in contention. The champion of 2 years ago. And just look at Phil getting this thing going.
The Airborne Division had to really pump the tyres up on this plane to make sure it could actually move, because the tyres are normally built so it can land on grass. They're quite soft, and it's made a big difference. Pfister's getting it going, but now he's starting to grind to a slow halt. Got to keep pulling here.
It's not the nose of the plane that crosses the line, it's when those tyres touch. And Terry Hollands, is he going to be beaten out? Is he? Yeah, by a second. That's a good pull from Phil.
The two big men, first and second, Pfister and Hollands. Interesting to see how Pudzianowski and Poundstone, two smaller men, deal with such a big plane.
Four-time Metrics World's Strongest Man and defending champion from Poland, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Well, he's well on course for a podium finish, but Pudzianowski thinks nothing other than first place. That's all he wants. He wants that 5th title and a place in strongman immortality. And he's going to push himself all the way here. He's certainly got off to a flyer, but it's the finish that matters here. And that leg of his strapped up tight. So far it hasn't let him down. He's played through pain, as it were, but surely that pain is starting to kick in now.
Listen to him screaming.
Oh, a stumble, he's in trouble. He's managed to just regroup though. Now, is that going to cost him tenths of seconds that could be so expensive? Oh no, he's got away with it. That was tremendous under the circumstances. It puts him into first place, although Poundstone's still to come, but he's looking around as if to say, have I done it? Oh, and that's what it means to him.
36.67, he got it by less than
Well, Mariusz Pudzianowski beating two giants like Terry Hollands and Phil Pfister in an event they should be winning, and with the calf you can see it strapped up. Oh, how much does he want it? Well, that's how much he wants it. Absolutely nothing left.
In the red, representing the United States of America, Derek Poundstone.
The rookie has answered every challenge that's been thrown at him so far, but Phil Pfister, and in particular Mariusz Pudzianowski, have really asked some questions of Derek Poundstone as he embarks on this plane pull. Pfister and Pudzianowski both got fast starts, and Poundstone has matched that. The fast start's not the problem, it's maintaining it as it goes up that slight incline at the finish. And remember, Pudzianowski 36.67. and Pfister about a second slower than that. He needs to get in amongst them somehow. He's starting to slow, it's starting to hurt. And it's noticeably slowing, and that clock seems to be speeding up. These are vital seconds. It's a terrific pull from Poundstone, but under the circumstances, is it good enough? I think he's just edged out Terry Hollands to take third place, but they're all checking the stopwatches. It's not going to beat Pudzianowski or Pfister. Third place, he did just edge out Hollands. That could be significant. Wow, what an event.
You can never write off Pudzianowski. 45 tons pulled 20 metres in 36 seconds. Pfister pushes Poundstone into third. Haugen, the only man not to finish, and after his performance in this event in the heats, Ortmeyer will be disappointed with 8th. Just 1.5 points separate the top two now. Phil Pfister's performance in the plane pull gives him a real chance of a podium finish. Hollands improves slightly at the bottom as he joins Haugen on 16 points. It's head-to-head for the 2008 title. Debutant Poundstone faces the dominator Pudzianowski in a winner-takes-all at the Stones next. Well, welcome back. We're at the Appalachian Power Park, Charleston's baseball ground, for the finale of what has been a remarkable contest. I'm here with 3 times World's Strongest Man, Bill Kazmaier. Bill, 2 men at the top of the pile, the 2 Ps, Poundstone, Pudzianowski. Are you surprised that Poundstone is there, 1 point in the lead?
Well, he's fantastic. He's so strong, head to toe. He sprained his ankle in the qualifiers with the Stones, fought his way through, got a sizable lead. He's 1 point ahead going in.
And are you surprised that Pudzianowski is there in second place and not at the top?
Yes, but he tore his calf in the qualifiers, fought through them, and fought back from a points deficit. Now 1 point behind. If he beats Derek He's the champion. He's in fantastic shape.
Well, it's the ultimate climax to this. I'll ask you one question. I want a one-word answer. Poundstone or Pudzianowski?
Poundstone, the American.
There we go. It had to be slightly more than one-word answer. We shall wait and see who the winner will be.
Well, there's confirmation. It is a straight shootout between the Pounder and Pudzianowski for this year's World's Strongest Man. Dave Osland and Phil Pfister will have their own duel for a place on the podium.
In the black, from the United States of America, Dave Osland.
So much pride on the line for these two.
West Virginia, Phil Pfister.
They can't win, but they can finish on the podium, and that will mean so much. Well, Harold Haugen set a blistering pace, but none of these guys can get amongst the top three. Terry Hollands also managed 5, all good times.
Ready?
So who's gonna come third? Will it be Pfister, the local man in the white, getting urged on? Dave Osland, though, very good in this competition. Those long limbs of his really help, and he's blasted his way through, but Pfister's coming back at him, and there's nothing between them. Maybe now just the man from Minnesota has an advantage. A clean finish here, and he'll get it. The champion of 2 years ago beaten down to 4th, and a hug of mutual respect. Dave Osland, who led early, has hung on for a podium finish, and that is a magnificent achievement for Big Dave.
What a great way to end the year for Dave Osland, to beat Phil Pfister in front of his home crowd. I mean, that's a huge achievement. And to take the bronze medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. In the red from the USA, Derek Poundstone. And in the gold from Poland, 4-time metrics World's Strongest Man, Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Is he on the threshold of immortality? A 5th World's Strongest Man title within his grasp, but first he's got to beat this young pretender, Derek Poundstone, and whatever happens here, Poundstone has been sensational. But Poundstone sometimes gets a little bit carried away with the stones. They're both good at the stones. Pudzianowski trying to put the heat on.
He's in the lead, isn't he? But Poundstone's coming back.
Yeah, Poundstone's taken a glance over his shoulder, and Pudzianowski stumbled a bit on that 4th one. Now it's neck and neck. Who's going to get it? It's going to be Poundstone. Oh, Poundstone's dropped it. And Pudzianowski, he's done it in the most dramatic circumstances. And Poundstone knows how close it was. But dropping that 5th stone, just as he did in qualifying, means that Mariusz Pudzianowski is going to be crowned World's Strongest Man for a record-breaking 5th time.
This has to be the most dramatic finish ever to what is perhaps the most important finals of all time. Mariusz takes a 5th, and how close was Poundstone? Goodness me, how many times will he watch that again?
It's a moment he'll never forget, and nor will Mariusz, for very different reasons.
Well, Mariusz Pudzianowski, you are the greatest strongman of all time. Can you explain how you feel right now?
Yes, I am very, very happy. 5 times is unbelievable. 4 times, easy. 5th times is very close and very long. Now, when I am win, I am very, very happy. This is impossible. How? 5 times. Impossible. And now it's possible.
Harold Haugen may have won, but all that matters is the man in 3rd. Pudzianowski holds his nerve while Derek Poundstone lets the occasion get to him. The Connecticut Cop finishes in 9th place. All competitors managed 5 stones, and all in very good times. Pudzianowski has that record 5th title, but Poundstone pushed him hard. Osland caps a steady improvement with a podium finish. Hollands will need to regroup for 2009. Haugen underachieved in 8th, and Venter just misses out on a top 5 finish.
Mariusz, on behalf of Metrics and the entire World's Strongest Man family, congratulations on your 5th championship.
Congratulations once again to Mariusz Pudzianowski, undoubtedly the most complete strongman in the competition's 31-year history. Can he make it 6 titles? Find out next year. Until then, it's goodbye from World's Strongest Man 2008.
The winner of the World's